Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode of SnowiKs Can't Build a Deck of 40 Cards specifically, I have decided to try my hand at pure Tri-Brigade. Why? Because I really just wanted to test it with the tier stuff before it got hit, so that I could see truly how bad it was. And let me tell you, it was difficult. It was really difficult. However, man, do I love this deck, and I still wanted to play it. Now, with the limitations to the Ishizu cards, most notably the Shufflers, this deck gets significantly better. One, there will be most likely less graveyard hate, less things like Macrocosmos and Dimension Shifter and stuff like that running around. Well, I do think that will be common. I don't think it will be as big of an issue. But two, and almost as importantly, the Shufflers were a big downside for playing the Tri-Brigades. The reason for that, especially with things like Tri-Brigade Lyrilisc, was you can't really interact with the graveyard all that much because they're just going to put everything away. So if, for example, you normal summon one of your Tri-Brigades, in order to actually get their effect off, all of a sudden all of your materials are now gone and you kinda can't do anything, at least with the Shufflers. However, they're going away, so there you go. But I did, again, want to try this with Tier 0 tier. So here is the list that I have come up with. Obviously, this is more pure Tri-Brigade than like Tri-Brigade Lyrilisc or Tri-Brigade Zodiac. I do think the Tri-Brigade Zodiac list is probably the best, being able to give you access to things like Zeus into just like wiping the board multiple times, as well as being able to also play things like Dimension Shifter with more of a pure Zodiac list, or more Zodiac-centric. But again, this is my favorite version of the deck, so let's quickly do the card by card. Now, obviously, we're running a ton of tech cards, but first and foremost, we got to talk about the Tri-Brigades, that being the triple Nerval, the triple Kit, the double Karos, and for some reason, Fractal is still at 2, give us back the 3 Fractal, but alas, it doesn't really matter, 3 Fractal. Then, we're obviously playing ourselves the Rescue Cat. Rescue Cat is absolutely insane in this deck because it allows us to basically get full combo off of a single normal summon. Also, on top of that, because of the other cards that we are playing, things like Gamma, things like Ash, things like Called By, and the like, Rescue Cat is more likely to resolve because of, again, Gamma, and the like, which means that we're able to actually get that really strong combo off of it. You know, summoning a Karos and a Kit, or 2 Kits or stuff like that, is very strong. So we're playing 3 of that. Moving on to the rest of the cards, it's a ton of tech cards. We're also playing the 2 DD Crow for obvious reasons, but more importantly, because they're winged beasts. I probably wouldn't cut this for like Bystials. You could play the Bystials instead of things like Imperms or droplets or stuff like that, but in all honesty, most of the time I wouldn't cut at least I wouldn't cut the DD Crows for Bystials when they release. Next up, we have ourselves the Gamma. As I mentioned previously, we're running the Gamma package because it is very good, because Rescue Cat gets itself off of the field for cost, then your opponent would interact, which then you can hit them with the Gamma and go absolutely crazy. And then on top of that, we're also playing the Omega in the extra deck for that. We're playing the triple Maxi, the double Ash Blossom. We're also running ourselves the 1 Harpies Feather Duster, the double Pot of Desire, the double Triple Tactics, and the double Forbidden Droplets. Kind of weird in terms of the way that the spells work out. I could just not play the Pot of Desires and instead play the 3rd Triple Tack, but Triple Tack is offline a lot, so I don't really want to play 3 of it. Similar to like Forbidden Droplets, this is again something that I could realistically cut. I'm playing a lot of 2-ofs. It just, I don't know, there's a lot of instances where it's like, well, Droplet's very good, but to be fair, Droplet is the most cuttable of the cards in here. Then we're playing 2 Tenki. Kind of weird. Again, I just think oftentimes I'd rather have something like a 2nd Pot of Desires or something like that. Tenki is very good, don't get me wrong, but honestly, seeing Fractal doesn't matter nearly as much. So, yeah, there's that. You could definitely play the 3rd Tenki if you're playing, like, Tri-Brigade Zodiac, though. So, again, there you go. We're playing the double Called By, the 1 Crossout, and that's it for the spells. Moving on, we have the double Evenly Matched, we have the triple Imperm, and then we have 2 Revolt. I know most people only play the 1, but I really do like Pot of Desires. It's very, very good, especially in a deck like this, where it's just, like, you want to see a million hand traps and you have a million at your disposal, so it's, or just like tech cards in general, non-engine pieces. So having Pot of Desires to potentially banish 1 but not banish both is very nice. Also, it comes up occasionally where like drawing into it or just having it in your starting hand is very good, so having more access to that is very nice. So there you go. Moving on to the extra, as I mentioned, we were playing the Omega for the Gamma. I could technically cut an additional card out of my extra in order to give me access to the Excel Synchro Baron line with Gamma, but I actually do kind of need every single card that's in here. Yeah, that's kind of it. Moving on, we have ourselves the Link monsters, which are all Link monsters. We have the one Almirage, the one Scareclaw of Lightheart. These do come up. Lightheart is probably one of the most cuttable, along with things like Elf. Yeah, there you go. They don't really come up as often in this build, but they're still good. They're more for corner cases. We have the double Dragon Lords. Honestly, I actually don't think I ever summoned this today. It just never really came up where I actually needed this or was able to make an end board that ended on this guy as well. Most of the time I was interrupted or something along those lines, where basically my opponent was able to slow me down enough to where I didn't make this. But very good for the end boards, so there you go. We have the double Faragite. This one does come up at 2, so we're playing 2 of it. We have the one Bearbrum, we have the one Elf, we have the one Unicorn, we have one Doomeagle. Doomeagle is crazy right now, being able to shuffle back something like a tier name, or anything really, and just make it a big guy is very nice. We have ourselves the Rugal, the one Apollosa, double Shureg. I would love to play 3, but this was the card that I cut for the Omega. And then we have the Underworld Goddess. So that's it for the list. Let's hop into the duels and show you how this deck performs. Alright, so here we are going first, but going second. I know that I have Maxi, but there is a reason that we're watching this game. So my opponent is going to do the Red and Jet. They're going to then set 2 and pass. Now we know one of those cards happens to be a Sprite starter, so there's that. But we do have ourselves a Gamma, so there's that as well. We draw into the second cat, which is very funny. We're going to normal summon cat. They're going to imperm that. I'm going to allow that, and then I'm going to activate the effect of the cat to get it off of the field. Here we go for the Fractal. They're going to send the kit. We're going to activate the kit in order to send the Nerval. Nerval will then add the second Karos. We're going to go for the Karos here, which I would expect that they would go for the red there, and I'm like, okay, great, fantastic. We now get to go for Gamma here. They will go for the Maxi, and I'm like, that's fine. It's not my favorite, but it's fine. We're going to go for the Karos here, and we're going to activate the effect of the Karos in order to go for 4, and then we're going to activate the effect of the Shureg. Now, notably, currently on the field, how much damage do we have? We have almost lethal. They would live with 300. And then they decide to OTK themselves, basically. Activating the Sprite starter here sentences them to death, basically allowing me to just immediately go for the Shureg, banishing whatever they end up summoning. They take the damage, and then we have lethal on board. So I just go to battle phase, and yeah, cool, good game. Look, Maxi ended up not working out for them. Worked out well for me, though. Alright, now we got Gamma out of the way. Now you know why Gamma is so good. Here's another game with Gamma. So this is actually a very good going second hand, especially against things like Flu, but more specifically just in general. They do happen to open the map, which is absolutely insane for me, because this Ash Blossom basically just gets turned off now. But we do have the Imperm, so we're going to Imperm there. They don't have anything. Fantastic. You'll love to see it. They're going to go for the Eaglin here. They're going to normal summon that. They're going to activate the effect. I'm going to go for the Gamma. Realistically, should I have gone for something like an Ash Blossom? Maybe. It's hard to say. But the thing is, Ash Blossom is still going to be activatable when I normal summon the kit. So, there you go. So we're going to go for the Gamma, pop their Eaglin, and they're going to pass the turn. We're going to draw into Karos, which is literally the best one that we could have drawn, because it means that we don't have to play into the map. If they have another normal summon, we're just kind of done there. So we're going to go for the Karos, pitch Kit, pitch Nerval, Nerval, grab the Fractal, and then Karos effect for 2, grabbing us the Ferajit. We're then going to go and special summon out the Fractal, and then we can go and activate the effect. Draw into the kit, we're just going to put that back, and then go for Fractal here for the 2. I then go to battle phase. This is the most amount of damage that we could possibly do, so I just decide to go for this. And then I make a terrible decision. Realistically, I should go for Apo here. I know that they have map, I get it, but I am going to be able to search the Bearbrum, so we could banish the map if we really needed to off of the Shureg. We could also just banish it immediately, like go Revolt, Shureg, banish the map, and then we're good. Instead, I decide to go for Shureg to immediately deal with the map. Now, granted, map is problematic, but either way, I think having Apo here would have been better. We could have just wasted the Revolt, gone for the effects, and then banished the opponent's map during like standby phase, and then also had that Apo with the Ash Blossom, which would have done a bit. But I don't know why. I was listening to chat. That's what it was. I listened to stream chat. Don't do that. Don't listen to them. Don't. No. Bad Snow. Don't do that. Make Apo here. Anyway, we're going to go for the Robina. Or, sorry, they're going to add back the Robina. They're going to grab up the Eaglin. They're going to go Robina, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, the Eaglin. Grab up the Toucan. They're going to tribute here for the M-Pen. Luckily, I can Ash this, and it resolves. Fantastic. We know 2 of the cards in hand, I believe. I don't think we know either of the other 3. They're going to attack into the Fractal, which actually is the correct choice, all things considered. But it doesn't really matter because we're just going to go for the Revolt here for 2. They're going to go DD Crow to banish the Bearbrum, which I literally cannot summon as it wasn't properly summoned. So we're just going to go for the Revolt here in order to grab it back our Kit and our Nerval, and then go for the Ferrigit. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, the Kit. We're going to grab up the Fractal here as well, and the only out that we have in the extra is the Underworld Goddess. We basically just have to link off the M-Pen and go for lethal there. Anyway, we draw Nerval, which is fantastic, so we're going to go for the Nerval here, and we're going to go for the Doom Eagle, then just link all of that away into the Underworld Goddess, and then Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Chainlink 3, draw into the Maxi, very funny. We're going to put that back, grab the Karos, grab the Kit off of the Shureg and the Nerval, and then we're going to go for the Doom Eagle to just shuffle something back, and then go for Karos here. I don't know why I'm doing this, I just guess I can, so that's why. And then we're going to link all of that off into Apollosa with the Double Dragon Lords, and proceed to battle. Good game. Alright, now we are going first, and this is against Tyr, so let's see what we can do against Tyr specifically. So we're going to start off here with the Pot of Desires, and we are going to find off of the top. Not the greatest. They're going to go for the Maxi here, and I'm going to be like, okay, let me look at that hand. Scream, Merly, triple tag. Alright, notably, this actually doesn't do anything against Set Droplet, Set Revolt Pass. I'll show you. So we're going to put back that Scream that they have, because I don't want it. And we're going to set 2 and pass. Fantastic. I go for the Maxi, just in case they did happen to draw into Sheeran or something like that. I don't know why I decided to do that. I could have just held it. But I know that they had the triple tech, so I was like, well, if they happen to draw something else. Anyway, we're going to go for the Droplet here, and we're going to pitch the Nerval and negate the Merly, and then just not activate Nerval. Here's the thing. If we activate the Nerval, we're doomed. We can't really do anything because now they get to go for triple attack, they get to draw 2, they draw into the Sheeran, and then we lose. And it's sad. But, alas, we didn't do that. They don't have anything. Fantastic. Moving on. We still have Revolt as well to keep in mind. Karos is probably the best draw that we could have gotten. We're going to go for the Kit here in order to grab up our Lightheart, which is just a Beast Warrior monster, so we can use him as link material after utilizing one of our Tri-Brigade effects. So then we can go for the Ferrigit and then dump the Nerval. They're going to send back the Ferrigit, which is totally fine. We're going to normal summon Fractal, banish 2, go for the Ferrigit, special summon out the Karos, then go for the Fractal effect to get an additional monster into the graveyard, which will then allow us to go for the Doom Eagle. So we're going to go for the Doom Eagle here, and then link those off for Rugal, trigger the Doom Eagle because it allows us to go into, or double its attack, so shuffle back the Maxi, boost up by 4,800. This then would be 4,000 into this attack, or into the Merly, and with the Revolt allowing us to special summon back 1, 2, 3, and 4, that means that we can go for the Shureg, banish the last monster, and deal lethal damage. So, Doom Eagle for the win, let's go! We had to make sure that we attacked with the Doom Eagle first, though, so there you go. Good game. Now let's see if we can do it again. We're going to go first here with Maxi Ash, and a pretty interesting hand, I'm not going to lie, it's not exactly the greatest. We're going to link off our Almirage, or link off into Almirage. We're going to go for the Kit go for Nerval. They're going to go for the Kelbeck here, which is like fantastic, dude. I'm not going to be able to look at their hand, but I am going to have to draw 2. What do we draw? We draw into the Cat, which is fine. It doesn't really matter. We're going to go for the Karos here. They're going to banish Cat for some reason. I really don't know why we decided to do that with the Crow, but it's fine. We're going to go for 2. We're going to go for the Bearbrum, and then I decided to go for the Bearbrum effect. We're going to pitch the talents that we drew and the Harpy's Feather Duster. Harpy's Feather Duster against here isn't exactly the greatest, but we got to go for the Bearbrum here. Now, this is a very interesting line. Rescue Cat has not been used. Bearbrum does not negate the effects of a monster that is brought back from the Banish Zone. Meaning, we gotta go for Rescue Cat here. Fantastic! We're gonna activate the effect of Rescue Cat, bring out the 2 kits, and then use those to go into Ferrigit. Now, I would have loved to have gone into a Apollosa, but either way, I would have had a Karos, and I would have either had 2 kits or 2 Karos on my field, which Appaloosa specifically requires different named monsters, so I couldn't use all 4 materials to go into Appo, but we're just going to use everything there in order to go into the Appaloosa instead. We're then going to activate the Ferrigite and the Bearbrum. I'm going to put back the Ash and then just put back the Imperm and grab up the Revolt. Revolt, Appo, pass. We do happen to have Maxi, so let's see what we can do here. So we're going to activate the Maxi in the draw phase just to play around the triple tactics. They're going to go for the Trident line. They're going to activate the Trident. Obviously, I'm negating that. I would have imagined they go for this because they have like a Halfness in hand. They don't have anything, so I'm a little bit confused. They're going to go to battle. As soon as battle happens, we're going to go for Revolt. Now, notably, unlike Mathmech Superfactorial, Revolt doesn't target. And it gets from the Banish Zone. So we do have enough materials here because we did properly summon the Ferrigite. We can now actually just summon out, no matter how many targets they target. We can now summon out the Shureg. So we're going to go for the Shureg, we're going to banish their Borbro, and then just chain a whole bunch of things. So we're going to dump the Karos, we're going to grab back a whole bunch of monsters, we're going to banish their monster, which they will then concede. That's basically how this deck is supposed to work. Alright, we're back with the deck, and in all honesty, this deck is very fun. I just thoroughly enjoy the way that this deck functions. I like the idea of having a whole bunch of tech cards or non-engine pieces to really play around your opponent's cards and to kind of figure out what's going to be the best for them. I wasn't originally playing the evenly matched, as you saw, it never actually came up in those games. And in all honesty, I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like more hand traps may be more worthwhile. Even something like Nibiru would be pretty good. I know a lot of people are like, Nibiru against Tyr, but the thing is, just being able to like reset their cooldowns or like their once per turns and stuff like that is pretty advantageous. Sure, they do summon a lot, but oftentimes they're not summoning anything too... They're not summoning anything that has like a negate besides Rukolos. So if you can Nibiru them to get rid of that Rukolos negate, and that Rukolos float is very nice, especially if you have like Nibiru DD Crow or something like that, or Nibiru Imperm or something. It's very nice, but evenly matched is still a very good card, all things considered. Yeah, I don't know. I like this deck. I like the way that it plays. I love the mid-range decks. They're very fun. Shadal, Tri-Brigade, etc. But yeah, that's it for the deck. I don't really have anything else to say other than I wanted to play a pure Tri-Brigade deck, and here we are. Is this the best version of the deck? No, not even close. You can either go hard with like Punk Tri-Brigade, or you can have more consistency with like Sprite Tri-Brigade, or there's like Lyrilisk Tri-Brigade as well, which is also still very good, but all of those still have similar issues with the shufflers. I think Sprite is probably the best version. Punk is able to just kind of like auto-win with some of the end boards that it's able to end on, but all things considered, I still love this version, and yeah, I will probably still be playing it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy it. If you did, I like it very much, so appreciate it. And if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh!, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the content.